Hi, I'm Jean Mandernack, and today I'd like to talk to you about a couple of the strategies I use in my online course to help really involve students in the learning process. I think one of the greatest challenges working in the online environment is really that students aren't engaged with the material. They can learn the material, that's well established. But what I struggle with is getting them to love the discipline and love the topic the way I've always loved the topic. So really the challenge isn't so much teaching them, but really kind of inspiring them. The challenge when talking about student engagement is that it's not very easy to measure and it's not easy to see because most of the aspects of a really engaged student lie within the student's characteristic. So it involves their confidence in their ability to learn, their attitude about the learning process, their willing to persist, their motivation, things that we don't normally take into consideration because they're student attributes. But as an instructor, we do need to think about how can we foster these student attributes to help students come to our course in an engaged manner. Take a look at the following video for an example of some really engaged students.
Class?
Yes.
I'm going to teach you about Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher, and the 4 causes he says that are the causes of any particular thing. I'm going to use a plastic triangle and describe it from Aristotle's point of view. Teach!
Okay. So Aristotle was an ancient Greek philosopher. He said that every object, in this case a clear plastic triangle, has 4 causes. There is the origin, which is where it's from. The efficient cause, which is what its definition, its essence. The material cause, which is what matter it's made of, and the final cause, which is its purpose.
Well, some of us might chuckle as we watch that previous clip, thinking, I will never get my students that engaged in the online classroom. And that might be, because the online classroom is not inherently social. But what you can think about is how do we go beyond just focusing on the content to really look at the connection? How do we use the technologies available to us to help simulate that kind of a social connection between students and between us as an instructor and the students that we work with? The reality is that our online students are not taking online courses because they don't want this social connection. They're taking it because it works for their schedule, it works for their life, but they really want some kind of connection. And specifically, they want a connection with the instructor. They want to feel like there's someone there teaching them, there to support them, there to help them, and there to inspire them. So what I'm going to show you today then is ways that we maybe can do that in the online classroom, strategies to help you connect with your students. As you could tell when you read the last slide, you can get the content and the meaning of material without a voice or a person there to help you. But it changes the experience and it changes the way you approach the information when there is a person there on the other end involved with the experience. I mean, if you reflect back on all your educational experiences, it's not really the content that you remember. It's the people that were involved with the educational experience that can have the greatest impact on learning. Now, I don't want to create a false sense of optimism here. Just a person involved isn't all you need. You really do need good content. But once that quality content is established, and once your learners are able to effectively navigate their learning environment, then you need to focus on creating a connection and providing that level of social support and interaction that really can inspire them in the learning process.
Over the last several slides, you've seen a range of levels of interaction, from reading the slide yourself, to hearing my voice, to seeing my picture, to actually interacting with me. Notice it doesn't change the content of what you're trying to learn. Rather, it changes the experience and how it feels to be involved in that learning environment. That's what, as an online instructor, I'd like to encourage you to do. Think about ways that you can personalize the learning experience and bring yourself as an instructor into the course to help foster students' engagement and increase that connection between you and your students.
So the question then becomes, well, what makes a good supplement to your course? What should you add if you want to maximize engagement? And the reality is it does need to be content specific. It needs to be about the course. They don't want to just get to know you. They want to know you as an instructor and have you teach them. So it needs to be relevant to what you're studying. It needs to be timely to the course topics. And it needs to be something more than they're getting from just their textbook or from their online learning materials. So it needs to be something that you add, some sort of an example or a further explanation, but something that they feel like you as the instructor are giving them more. You are going beyond the technology to truly teach them the content of their course. Two of my favorite tools to help personalize my course are iJot and VoiceThread. And what I like about both of these tools is they have no cost involved to use them, at least on a minimal level, and they house all the materials and store all the files on their own servers. So truly all you're loading into your classroom is a link that points them to this other server that they can access the materials. iJot is just this quick little application that allows you to use your webcam or whatever video is available on your computer to create up to a 1-minute short clip. So it's a great way to create micro lectures or short examples and explanations that you can just link out to your students. VoiceThread allows you to upload a file. It can be a photo, it could be a PDF file, it could be a slide, and then you can click on that and add either a video or an audio supplement explaining that. And VoiceThread even allows students to do the same thing and to click on it and kind of comment on what's going on in a video or a voice format. The advantage here is it's just supplementing the standard text that they read. So it gives them a way to kind of see you and hear you as an instructor within the confines of that course. So what I've found as I've been personalizing my courses and really trying to get in there and create a social connection with my students is that the students seem much more invested in the process of learning. I don't see as many students disappearing. I don't see as many students dropping the course. I see a lot more students asking me questions about the course material, asking me questions about their professional growth, letters of recommendation, graduate school, really seeing me more as that kind of advisor that online students often feel like they're lacking within their academic discipline. What I have not seen is any impact on course grades. So I want to emphasize here this personalization is not necessarily a direct impact on learning, but it impacts the learning experience and their overall kind of perception of the course, perception of the material, and their personal growth as an academic and a professional. Now what I found is just inserting yourself as a professor into the course doesn't always have an impact. If you want to have an impact, you have to make sure that you are there frequently. So I try to post either a video or an audio clip at least once a week. It needs to be relatively short in duration. You should not upload a 20-minute series. They won't watch it. They're not interested in it. So usually 3 minutes at most. Sometimes I'll go up to 5 minutes, but the vast majority of them are about a minute long. And they're ongoing. They're very content related. They're examples to supplement concepts that we talk about. And they're ways to bring me as a professional into the course. When I'm just coming in there as a cheerleader, telling the students, good job, way to go, keep it up, the videos had no impact. So really to be impacting the students, you have to make sure that you are there as an instructor. So you don't want to create this friendship with the students, but rather that professional student-teacher relationship. So in summary, I just wanted to share this quote I found because I think it's particularly valuable for online instructors to remember. The technology that facilitates your course is absolutely essential, but the key is the instructor using that technology. The students don't just want good technology. They want a teacher, and they want someone to be there to help them navigate this learning process. So when we can find ways to use technology to our advantage, I think we can really maximize the benefits for our students. If you have any questions or comments about my presentation, I would encourage you to post them down below, and I will be responding to all the questions that are posted here. Or you're welcome to shoot me an email or call me. I'm always interested in discussing what I've found in trying to improve the online learning experience. Thank you.